Hey guys, what's going on? It's Olizandri bringing you another episode of Black Ops Streaks today. Going away from the day-charge format I used last time. I will actually plan to do some more day-charges in the future because I think they're pretty cool things to do. However, I'm just going to go back to the normal format of Black Ops Streaks, which is one really long streak. Very much shotgun inspired, this one. I say inspired because of course there's very limited ammo in this thing if you're not using scavenger. Following that up after that by just a little bit of a gameplay that I thought I couldn't use as a standalone gameplay. There's not enough kills per minute, isn't it? Also the fact that during the start of the game I just couldn't find anyone to kill, but then it just heats up at the end. Plus the main reason I'm putting up is because the kills aren't really the selling point of it. The selling point to me, or why I think this little video clip's good, it's like 1 minute or so long, 2 minutes. It's just because I kick the enemy out of their spawn and thieve all their care packages. Just take them all. And I so wish I had Hacker Pro on the day because I'd been able to film people blowing up left, right and centre when I switch the spawns and take their next care package. It was just ridiculous. Plus it had a really nice quad feed in it. So it was like, yeah, that was quite a nice little flurry. So, I was wondering what I should talk about for this commentary today. Now, I went out recently and that's kind of an odd thing for me because I'm not a very social person. Very, very, very sad. I know it sounds kind of odd to someone who talks or like puts themselves out there on YouTube isn't a social person, but it's more the fact that the social situations I like aren't the ones that generally conform to what everyday society likes. So like, for example, a group of male mates would go to the pub. Now, to me, I don't want to mix with loads of people there that I don't have a clue who they are. That's just something I don't want to do. When I was a kid, I used to go to these massive barn parties and they were like 60 people, and to me, I knew all the people there, so therefore it was fun. I like these kind of like social get-togethers that are just you and a bunch of mates or people that you know or will get to know, just like a small gathering, not like with completely random people from off the street. That's just kind of what gets me. So if I'm going to go drinking, for example, I would drink at a house. I won't go to a pub to drink. Plus, of course, buying your own stuff is cheaper in the first place. So, but yeah, I went out, and I'm rambling completely. And we started talking about some really random stuff. At one point in time, it got into a conversation about World of Warcraft. Now, World of Warcraft is a game I haven't played for a year plus now. I broke the addiction and all that, and I have talked around here a little bit just the fact that I have played the game and that I was in a top raiding guild at one point that was, well, let's put it this way, right up there. The best achievement we got was an EU first kill on Borim, I think it is, Forum hard mode. I think that was the best we did. But I was always up there in like the top 10, top 20 guilds. At some point in time my character was actually officially on gear scores and all that, like the best geared character in the world. In Vanilla WoW I had a paladin that was completely and utterly overgeared, and Vanilla WoW was of course this period of time where you just had this, well, no one else, there was no welfare epics, so of course if you got the epics, if you were really good at raiding and you had a good guild, you would get this gear that would completely overpower everyone. So I had like Paladin full tier 3, all this excellent healing gear, and I had Paladin 2.5 DPS gear. This probably isn't going well down with the COD community right now. They're like, what? But let's put it this way, I had the best gear for killing people, I had the best gear for healing people, and I was more or less completely and utterly indestructible. So I had this really good thing going for me. So I was like, at one point in time, the best overall gear paladin in the world. So I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, less about WoW. Let's bring this conversation more pertinent to COD. Now, basically, the reason I mentioned WoW was that brought more females, more girls into the audience of the conversation. And we kind of just got into talking about Call of Duty or FPS series as a whole, just in a kind of like a way of psychology between girl and guy gamers. And what I'm talking about that is because girls in their psyche of gaming, they like MMOs like World of Warcraft, they like stuff like Farmville, they like stuff like Minecraft, because it's that creation or the healing or the... it's just something that plays into the woman's psyche of old. And FPSs like this, I mean, of course there is a rise in girls gamers, there's always going to be exceptions, but FPS are very much a manly thing to do. It's like a throwback in our psyche. What I compared it to at the time is it's kind of like the hunter-gatherer, caveman instincts of old. Now what I mean by that is, of course, it's like a proving ground. back then it was all about, if you were the best hunter, if you could provide the most food for children and all that, you would be the most attractive to the most attractive mate that you could get, the best mate you could get. Nowadays, I just feel like it's being constantly played out in the FPS environment because, you know, things are volatile in lobbies. Guys are constantly trying to get one over on each other. And this is like one of the few places of refuge where guys can really do that nowadays. Now, we all agreed at the time that girls don't give a crap about how good you are at a game. It's never going to happen. Girls like sports, how handsome you are, how much money you bring in. That's just how things are. But of course, things change all the time. I mean, there are women with high-powered jobs that support men nowadays. And men constantly get more effeminate year by year. So basically, one of the only things that is accessible for you to like, kind of like, illustrate your manhood, because hunting itself is irrelevant with farming and all that, and no one gives a crap, is FPS games. It's just a place where males go to constantly prove themselves over other males, like do one over on them, just show all the dominant one, the alpha of the pack. It's just like really odd, and that's what we started talking about. We just had some really odd conversations that day. But anyway, the vid's coming to an end now. Odd discussion, I know, but this has been Olizandri. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. See you around.